This truck you're looking at right now will shock you. Today, you're going to discover 10 types of trucks that literally defy the laws of physics. Curious to learn more? Join us, and let's go. Number 10. The Rainbow Trucks of Pakistan. The Rainbow Trucks of Pakistan are much more than cargo vehicles. They are works of art. Since 1947, when Pakistan gained independence, truck drivers began adding portraits of Sufis, landscapes, and colorful elements to their trucks. In the 1960s, political messages were incorporated into the art. By the 1970s, trucks were fully decorated, with Karachi's minibuses leading this trend. These trucks are known for their vibrant colors and unique designs, reflecting Pakistani culture. Additionally, the NGO Pakistan Youth Alliance launched the Peace Rickshaw campaign, decorating rickshaws with peace messages to counter hate speech, promoting a more positive atmosphere on the country's streets. Truck drivers take great pride in their vehicles, which are adorned with bright patterns and colors, braving Pakistan's dangerous roads while carrying heavy loads through difficult terrain. Number 9. The Giant Motorbikes of Cameroon. Get ready to meet the Motobus, a unique creation born from the necessity and ingenuity of the people of Cameroon. These giant motorcycles can reach over 3 meters in length, seating up to 8 people. These incredible machines are the result of local creativity pushed to the extreme. In regions where roads are little more than muddy trails, conventional vehicles just can't pass. The Motobus is nimble enough to navigate tough terrains, but large enough to transport groups of people and their goods. Riding one isn't for the faint of heart. Imagine balancing on an elongated bike with 7 other people, crossing rugged terrain. It's pure adrenaline. For the drivers, each trip is a chance to showcase their extraordinary skills, maneuvering these enormous machines with the grace of a dancer and the precision of a surgeon, ensuring that all passengers, along with their chickens, sacks of rice, and the occasional stove, arrive safely at their destination. Would you be brave enough to hitch a ride on a motobus? Number 8. The Balancing Acts of Thailand's Streets. Imagine walking down a busy street in Bangkok, and suddenly you see a truck carrying a mountain of boxes stacked so high it seems to touch the sky. Thai drivers have taken the art of loading and tying down cargo to unimaginable levels. With a mix of skill, courage, and, let's admit it, a bit of recklessness, they turn their vehicles into mobile towers. These overloaded trucks navigate the chaotic traffic with a grace that would make even the best circus jugglers envious. Sure, it's not exactly legal, but in a country where necessity often outweighs regulations, these drivers find creative ways to maximize each trip. Can you imagine what it would be like to drive one of these trucks? I have a question for you. First, I'd like to tell you that it's possible to keep up with the biggest curiosities of our world every day. But for that, you need to be subscribed to our channel. So have you subscribed yet? If not, take the opportunity to subscribe now. Now that you've done that, let's go. Number 7. The Impossible Boats of the Congo. Now let's sail the treacherous waters of the Congo River, where the definition of overloaded takes on a new meaning. Here, boats don't just carry cargo. They defy the very laws of buoyancy. Imagine a boat so loaded down that it looks more like a floating island than a vessel. These boats in the Congo carry everything, from sacks of grain to motorcycles, live animals to refrigerators, and of course, dozens, sometimes hundreds of passengers. It's like someone decided to transport an entire market, customers included, downriver. The most incredible part? These boats, often in precarious condition, navigate dangerous waters with a combination of skill, luck, and maybe a little magic. The captains of these boats are true masters in the art of balancing impossible loads, constantly making adjustments to keep the whole setup from tipping over. Of course, this practice isn't without risks. Accidents happen, and when they do, they can be catastrophic. But for many communities along the river, these boats are a lifeline, connecting isolated villages and transporting essential goods. Number 6. The Magical Bikes of China. Who needs a truck when you have a bicycle, right? At least that's what it seems like Chinese cyclists think. On the bustling streets of China's cities and villages, you'll witness a spectacle that makes Thailand's acrobatics look like child's play. Imagine a bicycle carrying the equivalent of a small apartment. Furniture, appliances, huge sacks of rice, and maybe even an entire family. These cyclists transform their humble bikes into true two-wheeled trucks, defying not only gravity, but also our understanding of what is possible in terms of balance. They pedal through crowded streets, dodging cars and pedestrians with the agility of an Olympic athlete. Number 5. The sugar trucks that sweeten the view. In sugarcane-producing countries like Brazil and India, there is a spectacle that will leave your jaw on the floor. The sugarcane transport trucks. They're loaded with a mountain of cane so high that it makes the truck itself look like a toy. These giant loads tower meters above the cab, creating green towers that seem to defy gravity at every turn. They navigate narrow roads, take sharp curves, and even pass under bridges with only centimeters to spare. For many farmers and transporters, maximizing each trip is an economic necessity. Can you imagine driving one of these sugar giants? Number 4. The Titans of the African Desert. These are the overloaded trucks that traverse the vast deserts of Africa. On these trucks, a mountain of goods is piled up that would make even Pakistani trucks seem modest. In addition, dozens of people cling to any available surface, giving you an idea of what these desert giants are like. The most surprising thing is the resilience of both the vehicles and the people who use them. These trucks not only carry impossible loads, they do so while crossing some of the planet's most inhospitable landscapes. Scorching dunes, relentless sandstorms, extreme temperatures, none of this stops these colossi on their journey. Of course, the risks are enormous. Mechanical failures in the middle of the desert can be fatal. Sandstorms can swallow entire vehicles, and the precarious balance of the load is a constant threat. Number 3. The daredevil motorcycles of Southeast Asia. In Southeast Asia, especially in countries like Vietnam and Indonesia, motorcycles are more than just vehicles. Imagine an ordinary motorcycle, now add a stack of boxes, twice the height of the driver, or maybe an entire family, father, mother, 3 kids, and a dog. Or how about a load of eggs enough to feed an entire village? The most incredible thing is the rider's ability to manage these seemingly impossible loads. They navigate through the chaotic city traffic with the grace of a dancer and the precision of a neurosurgeon. Every turn, every brake, every acceleration is a perfect act of balance. These overloaded motorcycles aren't just a display of skill, they are an economic necessity. In regions where cars are a luxury and trucks aren't always practical, motorcycles become the solution for almost everything. From commercial deliveries to family relocations, there's nothing an Asian motorcycle can't carry. Of course, this practice isn't without risks. Accidents happen, and when they do, they can be serious. But for many, it's a calculated risk in the face of the daily need for survival and sustenance. Number 2. The dangerous crossings of the Mediterranean. Now, let's talk about the overcrowded boats crossing the Mediterranean. Imagine a small fishing boat, designed for maybe a dozen people. Now put 100, sometimes 200 people on board. Add the few belongings they could carry, and you have a typical refugee boat crossing the Mediterranean. The most shocking part? These people's willingness to risk everything, their lives, their families, on a journey that defies all safety logic. These fragile, overcrowded boats face the treacherous waters of the Mediterranean, where every wave represents a deadly danger. The captains of these boats, often with no nautical experience, navigate on hope and determination. The frequency with which these journeys end in tragedy is terrible. Countless lives are lost annually in these desperate crossings. Every news of a shipwreck is a painful reminder of the human cost of these risky journeys. Number 1. The colorful jeepneys of the Philippines. Originally adapted from American military jeeps left after World War II, jeepneys have evolved to become the icon of Filipino public transport. Imagine a military jeep, now add vibrant colors, extravagant decorations, flashing lights, and of course, a load capacity that seems to defy all logic. The most impressive thing? The ability of these vehicles to adapt to the needs of their passengers. A jeepney may start its journey with 20 people inside, already well beyond its official capacity, but don't be surprised to see another 10 people hanging on the sides or sitting on the roof. For jeepney drivers, each trip is a challenge. They are not just drivers, they are traffic artists, passenger jugglers, and human Tetris masters. With skill and a bit of daring, they manage to fit surprising amounts of people and cargo into seemingly impossible spaces. Of course, this practice raises serious safety concerns. But in a country where public transportation is essential and often scarce, overcrowded jeepneys have become an accepted, though not ideal necessity. Which of these trucks shocked you the most? Tell me in the comments below. Also, click on the video that's appearing now on the screen, because I've picked it just for you. Well, that's it, and until next time, Curious One.